Good morning, welcome to Breakfast with Naga Monchetti and Charlie State.
Our headlines today. Germany imposes a strict quarantine on travellers from the UK because of the rise in cases of the Indian variant of COVID-19.
The vaccine programme rolls on in England. More than 1 million 32 and 33-year-olds can book their jabs from 7 o'clock this morning.
And it's back. After a year out because of the pandemic, Eurovision returns.
Obviously, I'd love ABBA.
And get ready to dust off your wellies. Glastonbury is set to return in full next June. The line-up's already 90% in place. The fields, they'll be somewhat busier. Colin Patterson, BBC News, Worthy Farm.
So it's called Live at Worthy Farm. It's streamed online 7 p.m. this evening, repeats tomorrow at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m.
I'm really quite excited this morning because we're getting to do something new. We're getting to actually meet our regular COVID experts, Dr. Chris Smith and Professor Linda Bald, and they have met each other for the first time.
Look at that. When you and I are listening, what do you think? Linda's saying, well, you're clever. You know a lot of stuff.
Chris is
nodding.
Saying, yes, I am.
You are too. And that's why we talk to them every week. We do, you'll know this, we pass on your questions to these two, and for a long time they've been Zooming from a distance. Today they are together. We are, of course, adhering to social distancing rules, and Naga and I will be stepping outside of our studio here, walking across to where they're set up.
Absolutely. So look, you've got half an hour or so to send your questions in. And look what we did. We wanted to make them feel at home. You know, they have this plant-off thing. So we've got plants in the studio for them as well. I'm really looking forward to that. But the important thing, obviously, is the questions. So keep those coming in, Twitter, email, etc.
Plenty coming up on Breakfast this morning. Stay with us.
In Glasgow, no fans, sadly, at Hampden Park, but it's also, for us, the end of an era for Football Focus today, as our very own Dan Walker bids a fond farewell to the programme. And also to joining us here on a Saturday morning on Breakfast, part of Saturday morning tradition. I always look forward to it, Dan.
Morning,
We've done some
Mike.
bizarre things over the years, but yeah, you'll get your Saturday mornings back doing music lessons and things like that.
Yes, and taking the kids to various places. My wife was working out the other day. I think I've had 2 Saturdays off since 1999.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to that side of it. But very sad to say goodbye to Football Focus as well. But I can tell you what's on the last programme of the season. We're talking a bit about the Scottish Cup final you mentioned there. We've got a nice piece about St Johnstone and about Hibs as well, as he seems play tomorrow. We know who's going down. We know who's, of course, won the title, Manchester City, on those games. We'll also be talking about the champions, Manchester City.
Gosh, I'm alone. This is very much pandemic living. I'm alone at home and no one's here to look after the dog.
It's beautiful, huh?
Got rid of her in the end, but she even came back at the end of the interview. So for whatever reason, she was just interested in Pep Guardiola, so I couldn't get rid of her. We're also talking about Sol Bamba on the programme. See you on BBC One at midday. And Mike, thank you for taking care of me on Saturday mornings for many years. It's always been a pleasure talking to you and the guys in the studio.
Oh, no, it's thanks to you. And of course, you'll still be on the Breakfast Sofa on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
I'll still see you.
I'm not despairing entirely.
Exactly. I look forward to more pep chat.
Yes, I'll try my
Focus
best.
at lunchtime. Brilliant stuff. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Mike.
Now, in 9 weeks' time, the Tokyo Olympics will be underway. All week, actually, is at the Olympics having a right to protest and show your support for Black Lives Matter, like footballers have been taking the knee, of course.
Athletes would, I think they'd be satisfied that they're getting their opportunity to speak, and you maybe wouldn't see anything when people are actually competing. But the fact that you tell athletes and people, no, you're not allowed to do it, just makes people want to do it more.
How would that affect what you do on that podium? What would you do?
Oh, I think I'd still definitely take a knee and I'd have to deal with the consequences. I think a lot of athletes would as well. But if the IOC does come to being that brutal, then that's when I said all hell will break loose, because obviously before we start the race, it's completely silent and you just compete in front of a crowd. And
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Mike. Let's see, 8:41 is the time now. Brand new.
This year's Eurovision Song Contest is taking place tonight under strict coronavirus restrictions. It's live in Rotterdam.
Iceland's entry and last year's winning act have had to pull out following positive COVID-19 tests, but Iceland has still made it through to the final after entering footage of their rehearsal performance.
We are joined now by the lead singer of that group, Dathi Frith, and Eurovision expert William Lee Adams. Good morning to you both. Dathi, how are you feeling? So you've kind of everything you can do in order to perform and, compete, you've done. That's it now.
Yeah, we're feels a little weird, but we're not going to go to the arena again. We set up a green room on the 7th floor of the hotel. And yeah, there's not much we can do.
Okay.
Time coming up to it anyway. I mean, because you had been hoping to perform, that was postponed, finally happening. I mean, how's it been for you, kind of psychologically?
How excited are you about this evening?
Oh, you know what? It's grey here, it's raining, but Dathie and Iceland, they are bringing the sunshine. I am so excited. They're like a unicorn explosion on that stage, and it's
great, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. After the first semi-final on Tuesday, I spoke with people who left the arena, and they were quite emotional after being trapped at home for 1 year. They said to be seated next to strangers, having all tested negative to gain entry, they just felt this connection with, their fellow Eurovision fans and indeed with strangers. Walking into the press center, you had a similar vibe. People who covered this every single year, it's like a reunion, and you see your old friends, and they were finally able to get not up close and personal, but close enough. It's just brilliant. Eurovision is back, and you feel like spring is coming.
Oh, excellent. Listen, there are quite a few acts with quite some quirky...
At one point, she strips off her jacket to reveal a nude her body, covering her sensitive areas. And she told me another one to look out for is Russia Manisia. The door. So she opens the door and pops out of the Russian dress. It is a...
What do you think?
I think it's great. I also got a chance to talk to him last year, and he's like the nicest guy you'll ever...
Daphne, for you, it's going to be, a bit odd because you're going to be tucked away there. But look, have a really good night anyway, and wish you luck. We wish you luck.
Thank you so much.
You can watch the Eurovision Song Contest Grand Final live from rainy Rotterdam tonight on BBC One from 8 p.m.
Good morning, welcome to Breakfast with Naga Manchetti and Charlie State.
Our headlines today. The vaccine programme rolls on in England. More than 1 million 32 and 33-year-olds can now book their jabs.
Germany imposes a strict quarantine on travellers from the UK because of the rising cases of the Indian variant of COVID-19.
All the details for you here on Breakfast.
Good morning. It's Saturday, the 22nd of May. People aged 32 and 33 in England are now eligible to book their first dose of the coronavirus vaccine. Quarantine for 2 weeks on arrival, even if they're fully vaccinated.
Amber list. So that means that we are being strongly advised against non-essential travel.
Germany will close its borders to all travel from the UK except for German residents and citizens due to... From Monday, British tourists will not need a negative COVID test to enter the country. Bedford and North London to identify cases of the Indian variants. Reported infections across England last week.
What sort of arrangements to expect for June the 21st?
From 18 to 25 for their jabs. And in Northern Ireland, anyone who will be 25 or older on the 21st of July can book an appointment. Sean Dilley, BBC News.
Coronavirus restrictions have been eased in Moray in northeast Scotland. The move from level 3 to 2 means that pubs and restaurants...
Water for early signs of coronavirus outbreaks has been expanded to cover 2/3 of England's population.
After a layer of reassurance on the effectiveness of lockdown restrictions.
Eventually, we'll be on the cards. Back to you both.
Sarah, thanks very much. We're somewhere different.
You will note the change of location, and there is a reason.
Yes. Since the beginning of the year, obviously, we have been checking in every Saturday with our COVID experts. And what they've done is they've helped us understand all the developments. And I think we've all learned together how the pandemic has worked, but also tried to figure out any of your questions that you send in to us.
Yes, so if we look at our other camera here, let's introduce you. It is virologist Dr. Chris Smith, Professor of Public Health, Linda Bald. Welcome.
Thank you. Lovely to be here.
Look at you two just sitting there all live and here with us in the studio. And we should point out for viewers who've been watching for a while, the two of you, spoken many times, never before have you met.
What was it like? When did you meet? When did you first clap eyes on each other?
This morning in the foyer. Yeah,
really?
When we came into the building.
And?
Well, I did cheekily phone up Linda last night. Well, I dropped her a line and I said, I'm eating curry and drinking Merlot in the hotel.
You know how
do you
to
want
live.
to pop over? And she said, I'm going to bed. got to get ready for tomorrow. But no, so this morning was the first time.
We
we
saw a sort of choreographed arrival. Was it? That was pure chance to be choreographed.
It's pure chance. It was entirely by chance.
Of
We
course
just
it
happened
was.
to go through the doors at the same time.
And are you fans of one another's work?
Absolutely. I was saying I've been listening to his podcasts and stealing his ideas. But no, it's brilliant. It's just great when you've spoken to somebody for so many times over so many months. But just that, seeing people in person, which so many of us haven't done, it's just exciting.
Have you two realised just what an impact you've had in terms of with our viewers? The questions have been coming in every week. We meetings on after this programme. Morning, Matt.
Good morning. How are you?
Really well, thank you.
Good.
Yeah,
Nice to see those guys in the studio.
Isn't it lovely?
Yeah.
It's lovely when you all get to meet up in a studio, isn't it?
It's really nice. It's really nice.
Yeah.
I love how they travel with their plants as well.
No, we gave them the plants. We gave them the
Well, I
plants.
wasn't paying attention really.
Well, that's obvious, isn't it? Maybe pay better attention to your programme, hey?
I will. Thank you. Right, our special guest today, the fabulous Sarah Hadland. Good morning, Sarah. How are you?
Morning, I'm very well, thank you.
Thanks for coming in. Now, listen, we can talk more about your show that's out at the moment.
Yep.
Murder They Hope.
Yep.
Play on words there. I like it. It's really fun. Was it fun to make?
It was really good fun to make, yeah. And it's the first time I've ever worked with Johnny Vegas, which was brilliant, and Sean Gibson as well.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, you're interchangeable. Aren't you?
Yes, yeah, we are.
Now, listen, we'll talk more about that later. For now, food heaven, food hell.
Yeah.
What's your idea of food heaven?
Truffles, all things truffle related, which is funny because well, it's not funny, but it's interesting because that used to be my food hell.
Okay, but you've grown.
I've matured, I'm sophisticated.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, what changed?
I don't know. It's really weird because I used to even the smell of it used to make me feel sick, and now I love it. So who knows?
Okay, it's good taste.
Yeah.
What about hell?
Oysters, which I've pretended to like for years to appear sophisticated, and I just don't like them. And also courgettes and aubergines, which are like eating a bit of old inner soul.
Okay.
There, I've said it.
Two great chefs here as well. Jason Atter, what's on the menu?
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm very well.
We've got a lovely spring lamb dish.
Yeah.
So rack of lamb,
Yeah.
nice spring vegetables, a bit of Provençal olive tapenade, and a little bit of jus or gravy, depends on where the United Kingdom you are from.
Cherish Findon, first time on the show. Welcome along.
Yes, I'm very excited. Thank you for your invitation.
You're welcome. What have you got for us?
Well, I'll be making a coconut and mango pudding, a dessert that is very close to my heart.
Very delicious it is as well. Ollie, how are you? In the morning, quite frankly. But I'm very grateful because I love it. Right, it's down to you guys at home to decide what Sarah gets to eat at the end of the show. So go to the website for voting details and we'll see you at 10.
Matt, I couldn't hear a word you were saying earlier on, so if I wasn't responding, I literally, all I could see was your mouth moving. I couldn't hear a word you were saying.
A lot of people say that.
I think, Charlie, I drew the short straw then, in that sense.
No short straw. Easy to say.
There we go. Let's let the man go. Oh, there you go. 9:35 is the time. So let's have a look at the sport. And Mike, what we have in golf, that's at the Eurovision Song Contest. You all know by now it's taking place tonight.
Yes, last year was cancelled, of course. So tonight, acts from 26 nations will take to the stage in Rotterdam in front of an audience of 3,500 people.
We're joined now by Anthony Costa, who represented the UK at Eurovision 10 years ago now to happen.
Exactly. You don't know who's going to get, as Anthony said there, you don't know who's going to get the 12 points. You may have watched a song and thought it was terrible, and the rest of Europe may have thought it was incredible.
It qualified for the grand final on Saturday. There you
Wow,
go.
so
you beat six.
bless them. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but yeah, I can't remember.
It's been lovely talking to you both. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good night. Enjoy Eurovision, guys.
Thank you. You too. You can watch it tonight. The Eurovision Song Contest Grand Final, Rotterdam, 8 p.m, BBC One.
That's it from us. Breakfast back tomorrow at 6.
Enjoy your weekend.